So if you're new into the hobby and you're looking to start getting the basic tools together, you should possibly consider this. It's the action kit from Amati, and it covers off a number of your basic tools with just one purchase. Let's take a look. Hello, welcome to Model Kit Stuff tool review time today, and we're looking at an Amati tool. Now, I purchased this myself back in August, and I've been having a bit of a play with it. Now, some parts of this are familiar, but the main tool itself isn't. So what you get is you get something called the action kit. And it says it's a professional tool, and when you look on the other side, it explains a little bit about the various things you can do. So effectively, it's a multi-tool. It's a handle that's got a really clever design, which I will show you in a minute. And then it comes with various different heads. So you've got a knife option, and all of this comes with it, so you get two blades. You've got a saw option, you've got a vise, a mini vise, and you've got a collet, which allows you to use it as a drill or for various other things as well, anything that you might want to hold in a collet. So, but it all centers around this clever little handle. Now, on other tools, like if you buy a standard knife, the way they usually work is that you have a collet on the top there, which loosens it up and allows you to put your knife blade in and out. And if you have the X-Acto one, they have one slit for your knife. But if you've got some other versions, they sometimes have, like this one, 4 in it. So they come in various different methods. And then if you've got separate drill bits, they will come with a collet head, quite often in 4s. And that's sort of the general way of working. And it means that you're loosening and you're tightening up near your blade. So there's a risk of cutting yourself with the blade while you do that. Sometimes if you've been doing a lot of work where you've been pressing on, these can get quite stiff, and you can actually see evidence where I've had to get mole grips onto this to loosen it before now and pull this down. So what effectively you need to do is loosen and then pull this down so that stops clamping. So the head is clamped by it being screwed down into this adjustable ring. So that's how drill bits and knives generally work. This works slightly differently. The basic principle is the same. We've got a head there with one slit in it, and also a big circular hole. We'll explain that in a minute. But rather than you having to adjust it at the top, you adjust it at the bottom. So you can tighten it up at the bottom, so you're nowhere near the blade. It's really clever idea. And if I take this off, I can show you how this basically works. The principle is essentially the same. So you've got a long collet. This is made of brass, so it's a good quality material. And that's on a bit of threaded bar, threaded at both ends. Goes through the really chunky plastic handle, and all Amati tools are made from this really nice quality strong plastic. And then that pops down. There's a little hole there. You have to get the bar aligned, otherwise it won't go through. There we go. And then you've got this nut. Again, it's a brass nut on the end, which basically tightens it up. So the principle is the same. This head is still being pulled into there to tighten it up and make it grab, but it's effectively being done at the other end. So I think that's really clever, because they have absolutely thought about it, haven't they? So there we go. So the reason why we have a hole in it is it allows you to put a collet in, like so, and then you can tighten the collet up like that, and then that in itself is a separate mini collet. So you can then put in whichever one of these fittings you choose, and we'll put that one in. And then you can put in there a piece of wire or a drill bit. Yeah. Right, I just swap the collet so that it fits the drill bit that I've got out, and you can see there I can put the drill bit in, and that works like any other drill bit holding tool, and I've got a drill. So that is really handy. Plus, look at the extension I've got on that compared to standard drill length. So yeah, makes a big difference. So if you're trying to get into a tight area, particularly on wooden model ships, then this extended length can be really, really handy. So yeah, there you go. That is how that works. And then we can just loosen that and take that off, so we can then swap it out for a different tool like the mini vise. So the mini vise is basically a spring mounted vise. So you've got a bolt running through there going into a nut which allows you to open up your vise, and you've actually got a really quite a wide gate on it. Yeah, so you can put something that's, what's that, 1.5 centimeters roughly into there, and hold it. So that's great for all sorts of things. So for painting figures, clamping things together, small parts that you want to clamp, this can do that. So this head is the same head that they use on their keel clamp tool, for example. So you get 2 of those that are adjustable on the keel clamp. It's exactly the same thing. And what you're going to do with this is you're just going to pop it into there, tighten up the handle, and there you go. You've got a really handy clamp. And you will have seen me use this in my Airfix ferret build. So there you go. Again, really handy. Nice, solid grip. You've got plenty of space on there. You know, it's not fiddly. You've got a nice, good purchase on there. So, and then easy to slacken it off and loosen it when you want to swap it out. Get a saw. Now, the saw blade itself is aimed more at wood than plastic. It's a bit coarse for plastic. But if you buy some saw blades that are finer and suitable for plastic, this will absolutely do that job. And again, you've got a great long handle, so you can hold this end of it, and you've got nothing in the way of what you're seeing, and it's certainly more comfortable than other similar saws on the market, such as this, which is actually quite a basic tool. If I take this off, it's just plastic that pinches together, and although it does work, it's not quite got the same feel. It's not got the weight, and it's definitely not as comfortable, because it's like a pen. And when you're sawing, you really want to hold it like that, not like that. Sometimes you do for very delicate work, but you can do very delicate work with this. If you look at how this is designed, you can hold that very end here. You've still got plenty of grip. Again, better grip than this, which is only relying on the collet for grip. You've got grip there, but you've also got grip if you're doing it like that or like that. it's designed to think about everything you might use with it. So I really love it from that point of view. Then of course your knives, they just slot into the slot that they've put into the collet. So that's really handy. So knife blades, there's a little slot in that collet top. So you can put your knife blade in, and the knife blades are actually quite thick and only just go in. There we go. So you've got to get it lined up before that'll go in, and it has to also be lined up, there we go, with the little, there's 4 of them. So there's a little cross in the plastic, and your collet, which is easy to turn if I lift this out, has to be aligned with one of those slots for the knife to go in. And then you can tighten that up like so. You've got a really handy knife. And again, you can hold it in different ways for different amounts of force, different cutting jobs. Really handy. So yeah, I mean, I really like it. And one of the best features of it, as opposed to an ordinary knife, so if I put this down, right, you can roll that. If I put this down, with force you can roll it, but what they've done is they've put these little bumps on the end, looks like a gear, so it won't roll when you put it down. It's not rolling away from you, it's not rolling under the job. That's happened before now. So I think it's really cleverly worked out. So even though it does come with some bits that are really useful and great materials, great quality, you if you're an established modeler and you've got knife blades and things like that, this will do it. And I think it's really handy tool. Like I say, it's sort of aimed at people building wooden kits, but it crosses really nicely into any modeling or craft hobby where you're using multiple different types of tools, and it makes it nice and simple. You can keep the small blades and things to hand and just keep the one tool on your desk. So it's also going to save you money because you've not got to buy multiple tools. It's going to save you space because you've not got to buy multiple tools. So if you're starting out in the hobby, definitely worth considering. I've had some Amati tools now for a good few years, and they just keep working. They last and last and last because they are really robust, good tools. So although I'll never recommend a tool, what I will say is I've been using this over the last 2 months and found that it's not given me any problems. The only downside I've found to it is that it sometimes can be a little bit fiddly, and what you have to do is just loosen that and push it down to release the head. If that gets stuck in there, it can do a little bit. If you've over tightened it, it can get stuck in the top, but it's easy to sort it out. So I think it's a fabulous tool. Like I say, I have been using it and it does exactly what you expect it to do, and I'm really pleased with it. So this is now a permanent feature on my desk. I hope that was useful. Certainly if you're new to the modelling hobby and you're just starting out and looking at tools, definitely worth thinking about. If you've looked at this and wondered whether it was any good or not, Amati tools generally are very high quality. So thank you very much for looking in. You enjoy your modelling, and I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.